Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my ContemporaryAthon TBR. So this is my second TBR video that's going up in February, and I am planning on reading so much this month, and I'm really excited because I've been really looking forward to ContemporaryAthon. Last year in 2018 I didn't read nearly as many contemporaries as I had wanted to, so I feel like I'm a little bit behind on some of them, and I thought that ContemporaryAthon would be a great opportunity to catch up on some of the ones that I might have missed last year or even years prior. So ContemporaryAthon is taking place from February 11th through the 17th, so Valentine's Day is right in the middle there, which makes it perfect for this. There are actually going to be 4 hosts this time around, so there is Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads, Mel from Mel to the Any, Julie from Pages and Pens, and Natasha from My Reading is Odd. There are a total of 7 challenges, but I'm only really probably going to do like a couple of them and then focus on my physical TBR that I have here that I am really wanting to have read already. So these are the books that I am planning on reading during ContemporaryAthon. Challenge number 1 is to read your most recently purchased or acquired contemporary, and for this one I am going to be reading Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West. I already have this one pre-ordered. It's Casey West's new book and I like to keep up with those. I don't actually have it yet because it doesn't come out for another like week. This will be my most recent acquired contemporary when the readathon starts. Next is read a contemporary with Blurple on the cover, which is like blue or purple. I don't have a book on my TBR that has both colors on the cover, so for this one I'm going to be reading Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. I've been wanting to read this one for so long, and it follows these 2 students who are putting on a production of Romeo and Juliet in their high school, and it sounds like it's going to be super cute. It's one of my friends, Jane from It's Jane Lindsey. It's like one of her favorite books from last year, so I definitely want to read this one like ASAP, and I'm very much looking forward to, and I want to read it before their second book comes out, which is inspired by Taming of the Shrew, which I'm also really excited for. Number 3 is to read a diverse contemporary, and for this one I have another Jane recommendation, and that is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I've been hearing a lot more people talk about this one recently, but Jane is really the one that made me purchase all of Alice Oseman's backlist, and I'm quite excited to read it. I know that there are a ton of diverse characters within here. I believe there's a podcast element to the story. I really like this UK cover. I think it's so cute, and I'm very much looking forward to finally reading something by Alice Oseman. Next is to read a dark, taboo, or emotional book, and for that one I am going to be reading The Start of Me and You by Emery Lord. I have been wanting to read this for years, and it's Emery Lord's only book that I haven't read. I've read everything else that she has written, so I feel horrible that I haven't read this yet, because also I think that it's likely going to be one of my favorites of hers. There's also going to be a sequel that's coming out, I think next year in 2020. Definitely want to have this read before that comes out. It follows a girl named Paige, and her boyfriend died in a swimming accident, so she kind of like shuts herself out from the world, and I know that she is a very big reader, but there is probably nothing more emotional than death, so this one fits that challenge perfectly. And this one was also on my 10 books that I need to read in 2019 video, so I'll be getting 2 things done by reading this book. Next is read a contemporary book that you meant to read in 2018 but you didn't get to, and this is one that I actually meant to read way prior to 2018, and that is The Wrong Side of Right by Jen Marie Thorne. This sounds like it's going to be so good. I really love books that deal with politics. I don't like politics in real life, but I love reading about politics for some reason. This follows a girl named Kate who has just lost her mother, and then this journalist comes to her and tells her the very surprising news that she's actually the daughter of a senator, and that senator is currently running for president, and he wants Kate to come and be part of the campaign, so her whole life kind of gets upended when she finds out this shocking secret that she had no idea about, and she ends up falling for a rebellious boy along the way, who I'm assuming is this boy, and I'm quite looking forward to reading it. And I know that this one is very much loved by Madalyn from Novel Inc., who is another one of my good friends, and I definitely trust her reading recommendations. Challenge number 6 is to read a contemporary in a non-traditional format, and for this one I am going to be reading Giant Days Volume 2, and this actually also works for Feminist Lit Feb, which is the readathon that Jane from It's Jane Lindsey is hosting, and I'm actually hoping that I will be able to read more than just Volume 2 and perhaps move on through all of the volumes that I currently have sitting on my shelf that I'm behind on. Follows 3 girls who are roommates in college, and I really enjoyed the first volume of it. There's not really like an overarching story. It's more like an anthology of little stories, so I just didn't feel the drive to be like, what happens next? But I really do want to continue reading these, so I need to do that. And then the last challenge, number 7, is to read a contemporary with a picture on the spine Mine, and for that one I'm going to be reading 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. Sally Thorne's the author of The Hating Game, and I know that that book is like so widely loved on BookTube. I personally enjoyed The Hating Game, but I didn't love it as much as everyone else did. I am wondering if I am going to love this one more than everyone else seems to be, because everyone like wanted a second Hating Game and I don't necessarily want that. I want something different. So I feel like this is going to be a really good one for me. And we've got our little picture on the spine down there of the two main characters. And it follows a girl named Darcy, and her twin brother's best friend comes to help her and her brother like fix up their grandmother's cottage so that they can sell it, and I believe there will be some sparks flying. Sounds like it's gonna be cute. So I actually did end up covering all of the challenges, which I'm kind of excited about. The only other thing that I really want to add is I need to continue on with my Sarah Dessen read through, because I do want to have all of those read by the end of this year. I started doing that last year, I believe, and I read quite a few of them, but I still have a ways to go. So a book that actually has a purple cover instead of a blue cover is This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen, and this is actually the next one of her books that I have to read because I'm reading all of them in publication order. So those are like my priority TBR, and then I have a couple of other contemporaries that I do want to get to. I don't know if I'll necessarily get to them during this week, but it would be cool if I got to them during the month. The first one is Act Like It by Lucy Parker. I just got this one on Kindle recently. It came recommended to me from Alexa of Alexa Loves Books. It's the first book in Lucy Parker's London Celebrities series, and it sounds really cute. It follows like celebrities and falling in love, and it's actually like pretty short. I want to say it's just about 200 pages or something. It's like really short. So I think that I'll just fly through that one, and then if I like it, I'll end up picking up the rest of them. I also really want to read The Simple Wilds by K.A. Tucker. This is a new adult contemporary, and it takes place in Alaska, and I'm very interested in reading books set in Alaska. I went there a couple of years ago for my brother-in-law's wedding, and I just think that it's interesting to read something set there because it's so different than New York. Like, it was totally different. So yeah, definitely interested in checking that one out. That one I actually have on hold at the library, so I'm hoping that that one comes off hold soon. And finally, the last book that I'm really hoping that I will get to read in February is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I have been wanting to read this series for the longest time. I've had it on my shelf like forever. It has survived so many unhauls because I am very interested in actually picking it up and reading it. This one also comes very recommended from Jess from Peace Love Books, who is like my go-to for romance recommendations. Highly recommend her channel if you have not yet subscribed to her. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to this one. It takes place in college. I have the newer covers with the girls on them. There's also the covers that you might be more familiar with like the guys with the abs. I personally like these ones better. I think I'm in the minority about that though. Very much looking forward to reading this one too. So those are all of the contemporary books that I'm hoping to read during ContemporaryAthon / in the rest of February, and we'll see how I do with that because I've got quite a few there, like more than I usually read in a month as it is. And then I also have a regular February TBR on top of that. So yeah, let's see. I'm really hoping that I'll just like buckle down and like read this month. I think I did a really good job in January, so I have high hopes. Let me know if you're planning on participating in ContemporaryAthon. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I am planning on reading. If there's anything you think that I should prioritize, I would love to know. And that's all that I have for this video, so I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!